Natalie.
Oh, Natalie.
She's the one that requested it, so.
Okay, so Ryan was talking to me yesterday. Also, I think that it's a general opinion of the class. Can we do a lot more related rates?
Yeah, I actually wrote down all the free response questions that have related rates. Not all of them, but I put a list. I can put that list. Oh, by the way, do you guys know how to access your AP scores?
Yeah.
I put a link on Haiku. So it's the same. Yeah, it's through the College Board. So I added the link on Haiku, so you can go, if you're not registered, you should all have
Yeah, I did.
registered, right?
Did you find out about the lunch meeting thing with Digger?
Oh, so I asked about a few things. One was the bubbling during lunch. Unfortunately, it is not gonna work this year. It just didn't happen. So you're gonna be doing it, they said it's like 10 minutes.
My
So-
hand hurts
It's
like
like
40.
Yeah, but then like it's not 40.
No,
You get all pumped up and you're excited, you're like, this is the AP test, and then, no, you have to just.
You have to bubble in all
But
of
then we
it.
have
See
to
if
get our
they'll let
AP
us do it at
codes
the
and
end.
stuff.
See if they'll let us do it at the end.
No, because you have to close it with the labels, and you have to get the labels with
Yeah,
the stuff.
so you probably have to do it at the beginning anyway. Okay, the other question was about calculators. The answer is yes, you can have 2 calculators as long as they are approved, which you guys, both of yours are approved. Use the 89 and the 84, so those are fine. Yeah, you can use a little scientific calculator and a graphing.
Can I
Or,
bring
oh,
us-
that's not even
if you
scientific,
bring
that's
us-
like,
But if you bring a second graphing, you can have more memory stored.
Or
as far as I understand it, you can have 2.
They don't make you clear your
Because
range.
my calculator does integrals.
Okay, the other question was about mechanical pencils, and it's unclear as to whether they
They say
allow them.
they say they
Mr.
don't work, but you use them anyway and you're fine.
Well, Mr. Vaca said, it says number 2, sharpened pencils. It doesn't say that their mechanical pencils are excluded, so I don't know. I mean, it never came up before, no one's ever asked me that, so I
just do it.
assumed.
I just do it and don't care.
yeah, when should we go to get like our numbers from Mr. Moss?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, then
we're
you're
not doing
surprised when
that's
you
not
get
a
a
thing.
0.
No, that's what you're talking
Okay, all right, let's go through some of more of the,
about. They were really hard.
they were really hard, okay.
But some of them were.
Get it out.
So I got like the first 4 and then I fell apart.
Questions.
Okay, so let's see, 29 was the volume of a solid.
Got it.
We got that one, so 29 we should have B. 30 does not exist. What did we need, any help on limit?
Wait for
And then, but if you plug in like 50.
30? Are we still finding our packets? 30.
I thought it was positive 3 first, so then I put a different answer, but then I realized it was negative 3.
Got it. So this would also be a case where you could apply L'Hopital's rule if you wanted. It just involves
it's harder.
chain rule on the bottom. It's much easier to factor and simplify. Good?
Wait,
No.
I found a few.
What's wrong?
Why is it non-existent?
It is negative 3. So you have root 0.
What happens when when we factor the top, we get x times x plus 3. And what happens when we factor the bottom? We get x plus 3 squared. So what does that mean?
So isn't x plus 2 squared?
Mean, basically you get absolute value of x plus 3.
That's 0.
Oh, did it before that? Oh. I wrote it like x plus 3 squared and then that quantity to the half power. So when I put this out, it like cancelled.
You have your calculator too for this.
I
You
just
don't even,
graphed it.
I was just gonna say, you could've just graphed it in.
This is easier than.
Do you see what the absolute value, if you have an absolute value like that, what was it, was it a jump? Is that what it looked like, or?
It was just like, it was too, yeah.
There was like 2 different parts to
Yeah.
the graph. It was a graphing calculator one, so I would recommend graphing it. Don't just cancel, don't make this x plus 3, because then we would be able to cancel it out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really absolute value. All right, 31. Okay, we did not do, don't worry about 31.
I plugged in stuff, but I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. No, because all you had to do is really you had to plug in 40 and then something in between.
Well, cost, revenue, profit, that used to be information. It was on the AP exam. It's not anymore, so we skipped that. So 32
Got it.
is B.
Yep.
Trapezoidal approximation, we're good. The nice thing here is the trapezoidal approximation, the heights were all the same, right? 33 is C. Total amount of water means the integral.
The integral of consumption
Of the
rate
rate.
is consumption.
Right.
But is it the absolute value?
No, well, because we're talking about, when we talk about total consumption is the integral of the rate. Is that something we should add to our?
No, it's almost like we sure.
Okay. So we're good with that? Over 3 hours?
Here's where I fall apart.
Oh. Okay, so 34 is B, and I understand that we have a question on that?
Yes, please.
All right.
I thought I had the gist of it because I looked
Okay,
at the
what's-
function function one, so like okay, do the chain rule thing with jigger.
Okay, so let's see
I
what
did that.
happens. Okay, so the outside is F, the inside is G, so it's gonna be derivative of the outside, keep the inside the same, times the derivative of the inside. So
Yeah.
F prime of G of 1 times G prime of 1. So,
No, I didn't.
okay, so G of 1 is 3, so it's really F prime of 3
That's where I went wrong.
times G prime of 1 is negative 3.
I did f prime of x times g of x, which is not the same
Got
thing.
it. So you see where you made the mistake. So this is negative 5 times negative 3, and that's how you get 15.
Yeah, you did it.
I was close.
35 was A.
Did I skip her? Yeah, how did rush you? You didn't understand what there was asking.
Let's see. So the figure shows a road running in the shape of a parabola from the bottom of a hill from point A to point B. It changes to a line and continues on to C. This is the equation of the road. So here's your parabola, and then the line. So B is 100 feet horizontally from A. Oh, I see. So they're just saying this is 1,000. So, and the difference in the y is 100. We don't know where. Like whatever this y value is, that difference is 100?
Wait, no, the
I
other difference.
thought B.
For A to B
Like-
is 100.
A to B is 100.
No.
Oh, you're right, I'm sorry, I labeled that wrong. So this is 100. Okay. At B, it changes to a line and continues on to C. The equation of the road is, since the road is smooth, R of X is continuous, what is the value of B? Well, what do we,
We have to find the limits.
so,
Right.
does it say that it doesn't say anything about it being differentiable, does it?
Give this to
It
us.
says continuous.
Well,
It says continuous, but does it say differentiable?
It says that R prime is continuous. So there has to be, I guess.
Ah, you're right.
It is different.
So we wanna make sure,
A of 1,000 squared equals B of 1,000 plus C.
we wanna make sure that those two are the same from the left and the right. The derivative from the left is equal to the derivative from the right,
Wait, so I'm get how does that get you B?
when x equals.
Derivative from the left or?
How does that get you with value B? They're asking for, yeah, I'm asking for that little baby B. Like the
The baby b?
Mini B.
What mini b?
like
Little
the
B.
like
Oh, this,
yeah.
so that's the slope. So that's the slope of this, little b represents the slope.
Oh, so it's the same from the left and the right.
So let's see.
I would never have thought this.
But do we take the limits of the derivative? Because
So
y-
it's gonna be,
Let's say, so should we have to find the limits from each side. Do we put it
Well,
into,
we already know it's continuous. We want to make sure it's, so does that work if we plug in, so when x equals 1,000, so we get 2,000, A equals B. And we also want to make sure it's continuous, so. So when so that's one equation. We should have a second equation because we said it also is continuous. So that's going to be,
I don't know, X is that, X is that. Oh, yeah.
what's wrong?
No.
We also know since it's continuous that ax squared has to be equal to bx plus c.
Can you also say like 100 equals a squared? Or that doesn't.
yeah, like which one are we supposed to use?
Isn't
Are
that
we
equal
supposed to-
100?
So when x is 1,000,
Yeah. Y is 100.
what?
Y is 100.
Y is 100. That's where it's adding
You
100.
can plug in a of x squared equals 100 at x equals 1,000. So for a, then you make the two slopes equal. So the two derivatives equal.
So this,
So can we have the point 1,000 on 100? So we can
so
solve.
if this is 1,000, well, I'm just trying to come up with like two equations with two variables, and then you can use substitution, because that's essentially what you're saying.
Isn't
What is
100
that?
equal that though? That is complete.
What's equal what?
100 equals ax squared equals bx plus c. Or no.
Is this after we have a test run?
No, I don't think this one would be.
Should
Should we do, you want to just, hold on, go ahead.
Okay, so first we said a of 1,000 squared equals 100. And we know that at that point y equals 100. And then a equals 10 to the negative 4.
Oh, we absolutely need to do this in the test.
And then we can plug that into
That
the
in,
derivative one.
and you get your point too.
Yeah.
Okay, there's,
Okay, don't worry about that one.
okay.
All right, 36
Wait, I have a question.
is D.
For those types of problems, you should actually do the derivative of the function and those.
Yeah, okay, so if something's continuous and differentiable, we want to show that it's continuous, so it has, they're equal on the left and the right, and that the derivatives are equal on the left and the right.
So, can you explain the, maybe I just missed it, so sorry about that.
So the shortest distance from the curve xy equals 4 to the origin. Okay, so what's this mean?
I think we talked about this, but I forgot.
Well, could you have written this as 4 over x? Okay. So the shortest distance from that curve to the origin. I don't, So, no, it looks like something like this. So we're basically looking at that distance, right? Now, how do we find that distance? It looks like if we can find, what's that?
The line is what? Can you submit the line and use y equals x?
Well, I would probably graph, did you guys graph it on your calculator by any
I did,
chance?
but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I got from my calculator, and then I just looked at the points, like at the zero values.
Like where this would be.
Yeah, like I figured it would be around that point, so I tested a couple of them.
What point did you get to this point?
I want to do and whatever two was, like 2 on the x-axis and whatever they said the y-axis was.
Well, it would be
I think it was
2, 2.
2, yeah.
It would be 2,
It was
2. 2, 2 would be the point right here, or it would be the same from this point.
Yeah.
Like that would be your point of tangency, if you will, like right here. And then
That's what I did. And then I just made it right.
yeah, I mean, if it's 2, 2, then it's just gonna be a right point.
We can use that outside of
So right here, this is 2, comma 2. So can you find the distance from 0, 0 to 2, 2. I mean, yeah, the fact that it's y equals x, that's fine. It's just do distance formula. 2 root 2.
Isn't formula is,
D equals the square root, it'll be x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Guys, if you forgot it, you could still do Pythagorean theorem, right? You could make a right triangle here.
That
Right.
is just a derivation.
This is 2, this is 2, this is 2 root 2.
oh, duh.
Okay?
So never know, like,
Well, like I said, right, the distance formula comes from the Pythagorean theorem. It's kind of like the Pythagorean theorem was first. From the Pythagorean theorem, we have our distance formula.
Wait, this one I thought I got right, but I didn't.
Okay, so what was 37? It was D.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be E.
So the table gives values of 3 functions, f, g, and h near x equals 0. Based on the values for which of the functions does it appear that the limit as x approaches 0 is 2? Yeah, so you have to consider, like, when you're looking at a table of values, the values right around 0 should be getting really close to 2.
They should stay.
Right, and because here at -0.1 it's more than that, jumps up to 2.
That's a step.
And here they're still getting closer to 2, so it's f and h only. Does that make sense? 'Cause it's mainly because the 1 to 2 right here. Remember I told you, limits can be, it just as it gets closer, it doesn't mean, the fact that it's undefined at 2 for h is irrelevant. Like this would be like a removable discontinuity. This one is like it's staying at 1 and then it jumps up to 2. Well, it's getting,
Like a parabola.
yeah, it could be like a parabola or something. Okay, it could, but like from the left it's a little bit above, from the right it's a little bit above it too.
Yeah, so the limit is.
It would be like it would be like y equals x squared plus 2. So remember, for limits, it's okay if we have the actual value. We don't need to have the actual value, but for continuity, so if my question was then which one looks like it would be continuous, then it would just be f. Okay. All right, so 38 was B.
I was confused on the relevance of the even function.
Okay, so even function means what? F of negative x is equal to f of x, which means,
That from 0 to -1, it would be,
okay, it's symmetric to the y-axis, like an x squared, right? A parabola facing up. So if it's even, so from 0 to 1 of f of x is 5, from 0 to 7 of f of x equals 1, then from -7 to -1,
It's one.
so how would that look?
you flip it only because you have to flip the bound. If it was just like,
It's -7, it's asking for -7 to -1.
Okay, and it's an even function. So if we know,
no, because what I did is I understood the fact that I looked it up because I was just looking up that if it was the same y value on the other side of but on the negative value, like the negative value of x had the same y value as the x or as the positive x value. So I did that, but then I forgot that when you flip the integral to make the balance, like that's just
yeah, so you could go like from -7 to 0, and then from 0 to -1. Remember, you can always break up an integral, just pick a number in between. So since it's even, I know that from -7 to 0 is going to be the same as 0 to 7, which is 1.
I think this like.
But then these I need to switch to make this a -1 to 0, so the lower bound. Oops. They do want you to know even and odd functions, so yes. So 1 minus 5. We're good on that?
oh, Oh, it's good
So
down.
this one is, okay, this one goes from smallest to biggest, so we're okay. And since it's symmetric, we just use that one.
But that one,
This one went from 0 to -1, so I switched it to a minus sign so that my lower bound was smaller, so -1 to 0. And again, because it's symmetric, the area under the curve from -1 to 0 is going to be the same as 0 to 1. So it's 1 minus 5, because this is -4. Question? You need to, we're okay with that? Well, they are. I mean, I know it's the hard part with studying for the AP exam, because you can never predict exactly how they're going to phrase it, or exactly how they're going to, but you should know even versus odd functions. Yeah, so you should have recognized that at least the area under the curves would be the same. I know, that involved a few different concepts, so 39 was D. Okay, and that was a calculator problem, so you had to find the bounds. We're okay with that?
Well, I just used the first I used the program and then I found the bounds like graphically and it wasn't right. So then I had to do it in the graph and then enter the manual.
How wasn't it right?
It gave the bounds too wide. I went for instead of 1.13 it was like 1.5.
How about 40? 40 was D.
Oh, I need help.
Okay. Mean value theorem. So the hypothesis, it says the conclusion. So the hypothesis is a function has to be continuous and differentiable, right? And our conclusion is there has to be a tangent slope that's equal to the secant slope. Did we graph that? -2 to 3. Let's see.
Can you plug in
That's
negative
just
2 and 3?
-2 and 3, I would make that the window. Oh yeah, you would make that, oh I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be your B and your A. Let's
So
see.
can you find the derivative on your calculator?
Yeah.
You can plug in. Oh, but you don't know what C is.
Hold on.
That's how many C's down. When I made my window -2 and 3, I like did this here.
I don't get how many C's are there. Should I just ask him how many places C? How many places does the tangent equal to secant?
I think I wrote the bracket there. What's that?
That what they're asking, how many places
Is the tangent.
equals to secant? I think it's in the C.
Yeah. What did you guys make here? So this you made -2. Yeah, we have class tomorrow. After lunch, I think. Something doesn't.
What?
A period. Regular
What?
calc is A period.
What?
They asked if they could come to our A period. I only have Preston, Ben, and Luke, and my tomorrow A period is after lunch. Okay, so we won't have class tomorrow anyway, but Friday, I could do I'll do a screencast. I don't know why this isn't showing up.
It's because it's so high.
Oh, is that what happened?
Set the window, set the Y max to 65, it'll work.
What about the min?
And put it at X, probably 20.
Let's see. So we want to, if we do f of b, did anybody find this? Did you find out what that was? Oh. Okay. $39. I'm just finding the values. 64. Okay. So find out the slope. You can find out the slope of the secant. It's 39 minus 60. F of 3. I graphed the original function. So we get this is -5. Okay, so what does f prime represent? Right, so we want to see where f prime, where is f prime equal to -5? So how can we do that on our calculators possibly?
Use graph F prime.
Okay, so you can graph f prime and you can graph -5 and see how many times, and see how many times they intersect. I'm sorry, two people were asking. Here, we want to see where the derivative is equal to -5. So can we graph the derivative on our calculator, and can we graph the line y equals -5 and see how many places it crosses?
Oh.
Okay, so now that I already have the original, so if I go back, let's say I don't want to graph the original, I want to graph the derivative of that.
Oh, you can do that too.
So we could do math 8, d dx, and then remember I could go to the variables right there.
But then you can't really delete y1.
I could go, what's wrong? So,
Isn't there,
Hey, look, it hits 3 times.
I would think you don't
isn't there an infinite number because there's an infinite number
No, because I love
of
you.
value?
Because I love you.
so if I just do d dx of y1, evaluated at all values of x, and then graph y equals -5 and see where the derivative is equal to -5. So I'm looking at where those two intersect, or how many places. So let me just change my window one more time. I'm going to go to change my y min to like -10. So now when I graph it, hopefully it crosses 3 places.
It's low. It's lower than, it crosses 2 places, but it's lower than.
I give my y min note to -10,
Oh,
so I should be able to see it.
Never mind. I didn't know that.
It's okay. I mean, I'm not getting the full. It's because my y max is 65. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Yay. Okay, that took a little time. Do we understand the process though, where we wanted to see where the derivative is equal to the secant? So find out the secant, which is -5. See how many places it crosses. Okay, 41, was that hard?
Let me look at it. No.
41 was D. Okay, so what happened here?
Hey, I did get 41.
It's the integral of the derivative, which means what?
It's the function. And then use the
Evaluated from
G of X.
A to B. Perfect. Good?
Minus the top out minus the lower.
So it's f of t, right? Evaluated from 0 to g of x. That look right? So it's f of g of x.
F of G of.
And it's f of 0. Good, okay. Number 42 is C. Okay, so C, this is an amount, right? So what do we want to find? We want to see when the rate is increasing most rapidly. So
What's the rate of the rate?
it's the rate of the rate. When the rate of the rate is a maximum.
You can see the list, when it says most rapid,
Thank
your
you.
fastest, then it's the
There
rate
you
of the rate.
They didn't say when is the rate at a maximum, they said when is the rate increasing. So we're talking about a rate of the rate.
We're gonna do A prime and then A double
So
prime.
do
and the critical point
the
of A double
second,
prime.
look at the second derivative.
I got stuff on the derivative on the first one.
Well, it's calculator.
Oh,
So why don't we just do this? Go to y equals.
down.
What's-
The derivative is the derivative and the one is.
So since I already have d dx and the y2, I'm just going to leave that.
Oh, that's funny.
Now,
There's a movie to the fun about like
okay.
Actually, graph if I could.
So you have your original, and then my y2, I made it the derivative of y1, and then y3, I did the derivative of y2. So I don't have to keep typing it in over and over again. So I just have it one time. And let me just go back. I actually don't want to graph y1 and y2,
Oh,
so I
you
can
do that.
I can unhighlight them. Okay, to get your variables, it's right here. Press variables, and then go over to function, and then it's like y1. Did you get to it?
Wait, what? I don't get what?
If you unhighlight the equal sign, you don't have to graph. That is a function.
If you go to variables,
Go to variables.
go to y variables.
I left four in
You can do alpha trace. Is that a shortcut for y1?
How did I never know that?
Oh, it gives you the drop down bar and gives you the options. Is that what happens?
What's the Y there?
No. So F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 sometimes have shortcuts.
Can I crash the calculator?
Oh, I didn't press alpha. I pressed second.
I'm in that.
Can I go zoom?
Oh, look at that. That's a little shortcut.
Adam, you're a fiend.
Thank you, Adam. Didn't know that.
I don't know.
I never use the shortcuts because.
Alpha trace.
The graphic,
See, I learned something too.
Adam, you showed me that. You showed Adam that. Jordan showed Adam. Not that hard. Your name Jordan is named Adam. You showed him. No one showed your little brother anything. Your little brother was showing him anything either. Yeah, except for your fact.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, guys.
the whole time.
Roll off.
Oops. I didn't mean to press that.
I will. No, I'm not. Looks like it's
Well, I'm gonna. Sorry, my calculator's like frozen at the moment. But you guys have. Did anybody enter this? Am I just like wasting time?
Yeah, it's equals 3. Like,
Did you,
That's what I got without a calculator.
Did you?
oh, it is 0, it's 3.
The black one.
okay.
Oh, where?
Oh,
That's the question?
yeah.
Oh.
Guys, think about this,
The
okay?
reflection.
Rate is increasing most rapidly. So this would be a prime. So when I'm talking about increasing, I'm looking at a double prime critical point. So basically where a prime, double prime, is equal to 0.
So 3.
So that was 3. So it started at 8 a.m. and we went, so 3 hours later would be 11.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Y'all.
43 was A.
Nope.
I didn't think, wait, how do you do this?
Yeah,
Um,
that's not even not at all.
I did understand this question, I read like 6 times.
That's a so you know that it can't.
Oh, high school you have people. Okay.
Oh,
Besides that.
green hat. Wow.
Hey Natalie and
All right.
And we have
Let me come back to 43. Let's look at 44.
And Ryan, don't forget about Ryan. And Red. Oh wait. Hi Greg.
It's not gonna be watching.
Let's just talk about Shelby.
Okay, 44 is actually on the BC exam. It's not on the AP exam. So don't worry about 44.
44, don't worry about it.
You'll see that in BC. 45 is E.
45 for right.
Yeah, I got 44 right.
No, 45 and
Me as well.
Which one? This one?
45, 40.
Okay, so F prime is given. I like how they put a note. This is not the graph of f of x. They tell us f is differentiable for all of x, and the graph is shown above. So f. That's so weird.
That was very strange.
F of 2 is equal to 10. Which of the following best approximates the maximum value of f of x?
Wait, we don't really need that.
Okay, so hold on. So f of 2 is 10.
I thought I had a start, and then I couldn't figure out how to do the so this is basically displacement. Looking for F of 6.
Right. So we're looking for,
F of 6.
where does it approach a maximum value for?
Because the maximum of F of x is 6 because that's what it crosses.
Right.
That's what F prime crosses the x-axis.
Yeah.
And then you want the area under the curve.
Yeah.
Well,
Integral. Go by displacement.
because it's the integral of f of x, f
But I
prime of
couldn't do it,
x.
it was hard.
Because like if you have,
I thought you wanted to find F of 6.
You do, but you're given F prime of 6. That's
So-
what F prime.
so you want to find f of 6. So it's going to be, so you want f of 2.
You want F of 2 plus the initial plus.
It's like the final position is equal to some initial position plus the integral plus the displacement.
Question.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing
How would
where
you do
F
the actual
prime
derivative? The
is zero.
integral is hard, like,
Seeing where F prime is 0 because that's
start at, like, oh, you calculate.
Well, okay, guys, think of it this way. It's all positive here, so it's, you understand? So by the time it gets to 6, that's going to be its maximum. So basically, you're just going to approximate. Did anybody do that? Approximate like how much the area is under the curve?
Not the 100. I like to me.
What's that?
I didn't. It looks like it's more than 100.
It looks like it's more than
Less
100.
than 100. Less than 100.
How many complete squares do you have?
14.
That's complete. And then how many of these partial ones?
You consider like the one.
Like you could do like these two is equal to
And then if
1.
there's
Yeah.
complete.
Like these two is equal to
like a
1.
half.
So that's probably, I would try to match them up and just count how many boxes. And each box is an area of 5, right?
I did that and it worked out well.
It's 13 kilowatts.
So 13 total boxes, 13 times
65.
65 plus 10.
75.
Yeah, you're right. Are you?
A lot of 5. I'm going to say a lot of 5.
We set it up right. Maybe it,
What was the answer?
Lindsay said it was 75.
I just said
Oh.
the boxes. You can put 10. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because that's the initial position is
I
10.
didn't, Travis
No,
didn't
no,